doubt if Newcastle fans had the pick of any player in the world to come to St James's Park in the summer, Shearer would have been top of that list. Their dreams have come true, and Shearer's dreams as well, for all the overtures from Old Trafford. And for all the disappointment at Ewood Park. But they can't say that there was any shortchanging from Shearer in the time he spent at Blackburn. Lee losing his footing. That let Butt in. There was a ball onto the left. Butt went to the right to Cantona. Giggs is still waiting on the left. Not been involved for Manchester United in the pre-season matches because... Well, Richard, I haven't experienced a Charity Shield quite like this one, and the noise that's being generated here, predominantly by Newcastle fans, but Manchester United not far behind. Let's give you the team news. All Manchester United's newcomers waiting in the wings today at Wembley as Alex Ferguson rewards those who reaped such a rich harvest for the club last season. 10 of the 11 who started the FA Cup final. So England's Gary Neville, incidentally, staying amongst the substitutes. The one alteration, Paul Scholes, who was chopped and changed with Andy Cole in the closing games. He has the chance for an extended run now due to Cole's bout of pneumonia.
Well, even without Gary Neville, Cole, Cruyff and Pavoski, Martin, this is still a very formidable looking side. New season, but nothing new to tell you about Manchester United. I think at the back they'll be conscious not to leave gaps down here for Ferdinand and Shearer to run into. Ahead of that, don't be surprised to see Scholes drop off the front and Cantona take his place there. There won't be one out-and-out striker, so that maybe gives something for the back four of Newcastle to think about.
For Newcastle, Pavel Cernicek has just edged ahead of Shaka Hislop in goal. A back four without Steve Howie today, who's not quite 100%, although he is named amongst the substitutes. Three in midfield, Rob Lee and Peter Beardsley either side of David Batty, with David Ginola starting perhaps on the left, but with plenty of licence to roam from that position. And up front, as Kevin Keegan said to me, light the blue touch paper.
Yeah, this is an exciting looking side. Apart from David Batty, you can see Lee getting forward, you can see Beardsley getting forward. As you said, watch Ginola come even away over to this side of the pitch to try and interfere. But just watch this side here. I would be a little concerned that Giggs and Philip Neville getting 2-on-1 against Steve Watson. So it may be that Robert Lee's job when they lose the ball on that side is to go over and help him.
Alan Shearer played in the Charity Shield last year. It was a low-key affair against Everton for Blackburn, who were beaten 1-0. Nothing low-key today. Paul Durkin appeared in Euro 96 at Newcastle, where he came on as a substitute referee in the France-Bulgaria match for Dermot Gallagher, who incidentally is still injured and will miss the opening weeks of the season. Well, Newcastle have somehow upstaged the double winners. Shearer and Ferdinand get the game underway. Les Ferdinand is not feeling 100%, but certainly not wanting to miss out on this usually showpiece occasion, but there's more meat to it today, I would suggest. The rivalry intense, the best two teams in the country. Might be some arguments from Liverpool and Aston Villa perhaps about that.
Well, they are the best two, it's simple as that. They finished first and second. I don't think anyone can argue with that, man. They've gone on to strengthen squads. But I, like you, have never known the beginning of a Charity Shield like this, the noise, the anticipation, the atmosphere.
Holding off Batty to find Keane. The flag is up against Paul Scholes.
Oh, that was tight. Very tight. But lovely skill from Cantona in the first place to shake off Batty. And as we would expect, he picks him out. Tight decision.
We must now refer to the men on the sidelines as the referee's assistants. We've got Dave Hawlett and Alan Sheffield today. The throw taken by Irwin, who's at right back, Phil Neville on the left. Here's Scholes. Wembley has had, what, 6 weeks to recover since the final of the European Championship. Here's Rob Lee, trying to slide it through for Shearer.
Shearer made a lovely little diagonal run and Rob Lee chose the wrong option, really.
It's a great ball from Beckham. Nicky Butt's flexing an injury and has not been involved in the play for the last 30 seconds or so, but it didn't stop Manchester United pressing on.
Great ball from Beckham. The only surprise for me was that Eric Cantona played it in a little early. I thought he would have just held it, and given the chasing pack a little bit of time to catch up play. But this is a really bright opening to this match.
Ginola. Put down by Pallister, whose fitness generally has been a matter of question, Andy. And as we all know, he missed Euro 96 and has missed some of the pre-season.
I think, take it from me, he's fit, Martin. Alex Ferguson wouldn't have risked him today, with next week being the most important date, I think, in United's calendar. He would have rather, if any doubts at all about Gary, have left him out today, getting him ready for the opening day next week.
When Manchester United are at Wimbledon, we've seen Joe Kinnear here on his fine mission already. Newcastle started Everton. They've suffered quite a lot from Les Ferdinand in particular in recent seasons. Carried back by Steve Watson, who continues to be preferred to Warren Barton at right back.
They're a little bit different from what we put on screen, Newcastle, Martin, in respect that Rob Lee's what I would call left side of Batty, and Peter Beardsley's the one who's the right side, so perhaps it'll be Peter's job, and it will be if he's there, to just keep an eye on the Giggs-Philip Neville partnership that side.
Ferdinand couldn't get away. Pallister sorted that.
That's a great piece of defending from Gary Pallister. He knows that kind of area, if Les Ferdinand gets control of it and gets turned, then he's an awesome prospect to be facing. Pallister timed the tackle beautiful.
Of course, these days players' shirt numbers that become status symbols as well as means of identification. It's all the fuss over who would wear 9, and we know that Alan Shearer has claimed that. And there's no doubt if Newcastle fans had the pick of any player in the world to come to St James's Park in the summer, Shearer would have been top of that list. Their dreams have come true, and Shearer's dreams as well, for all the overtures from Old Trafford. And for all the disappointment at Ewood Park. But they can't say that there was any shortchanging from Shearer in the time he spent at Blackburn. Lee losing his footing. That let Butt in. There was a ball onto the left. Butt went to the right to Cantona. Giggs is still waiting on the left. Not been involved for Manchester United in the pre-season matches because of injuries. Perhaps they've forgotten he's around today.
Well, he definitely did there. That was a great opportunity for Mickey Butt just to go it to Ryan Giggs. He could really have been attacking Steve Watson right on the edge of the box, 1 against 1.
Giggs with a bit of rustiness as he tried to lay it infield. It was cut out by Beardsley. Ginola. Got Beresford for company on the left. He's picked out by Lee. Shearer and Ferdinand in the centre. Still got to get used to saying those two names together. Never quite worked out for England. Apart from that match against Portugal, it was often Ferdinand in place of Shearer, particularly when Alan Shearer had that cruciate knee ligament problem. So they're in tandem for their club. Will they be in tandem for their country? Glenn Hoddle is here to make an assessment. John Gorman alongside him. It's an option.
Not a bad one to have, manager, I have to say.
Roy Keane, who did so much to stamp Manchester United's authority on the FA Cup final. Liverpool really didn't match him in midfield here in May. Cantona is onside. But quickly off his line was Cernicek. Good work from Shearer. Peter Beardsley, who like Alan Shearer had to learn his trade away from his hometown initially. Ginola. To hit them with the right foot. Optimistic range that time. Flip forward by Scholes was usefully delivered. And this is Keane. It's only got Cantona, although others were arriving.
That was unlucky. Just lack of numbers, really, but what a ball and what a run. Great ball from Scholes, wonderful run, and then great ability from Roy Keane to skip past Philippe Albert.
Shearer. Ferdinand. Shearer's got his foot to it, and David May would have been annoyed about that. Well, Alex too high.
Alex Ferguson would have been annoyed. The one thing you know about Alan Shearer, Mark, you don't allow him to do this. That's come in from the left side onto his right foot. Plays a 1-2 here, but he's destroyed many teams by doing that and coming in and getting a shot in. And the Schmeichel well out of his line. That could have been an embarrassing moment. A little 1-2 with his new strike partner. Just sits up here. Manages to get the toe to it under pressure. But can't get it down quick enough.
Well, we've not yet had 10 minutes, but it's certainly whet your appetite for the months ahead. Oh. This time Cantona, who worked that position well a minute or two ago without being offside, was caught too far forward.
Well, he certainly started way up the pitch, Eric Cantona. In the opening 10 minutes, he's played as a partner really to Paul Scholes.
Beardsley. But it will be particularly fascinating to see how Kevin Keegan blends this almost embarrassment of attacking riches in the Newcastle United squad. What a ball. This is Giggs. Manchester United had 4 players chasing into the centre. That's a missed kick by Beardsley, and it was a good job for him that Darren Peacock was alert. He just flicked it back to Cernicek. Ferdinand has turned, mate. Shearer's up with him. And Pallister coming across. Good enough.
Just showed Pallister too much, Martin. He picked up the flight of the ball brilliantly and really early. And that's why he lost David May. He spots you're not going to get it and he's away. Spins in behind. But that first touch there, well, it tempts Gary Pallister. He was never going to miss the tackle, I don't think.
So Newcastle have the corner to be taken by Ginola towards Albert, who gets to it. Comes back to Albert again. Another tentative touch by Cantona. It's an early ball on for Beresford, but he spurned the chance to play it, and Ginola wasn't best pleased. Lee. Beresford and Ginola still having a little conversation about it. Watson now kicks out Newcastle's Frenchman. And Nicky Butt doesn't flinch in that type of contest.
Nothing charitable about that challenge, was there? Both fiercely committed. The only thing I wouldn't have liked to have been there was the ball.
And to Beresford's credit, he's got a stitch in a toe injury that he picked up at Lincoln on Friday. He didn't flinch. Pallister. Beckham, who likes to involve himself infield and has the ability to play in that position. He's gone forward now alongside Giggs, and it was Beckham who very nearly reached it.
Well, I remember Philip Neville picking out, was it Roy Keane, Martin, at Old Trafford, with a very similar type of ball.
Against Newcastle.
Yeah, and he made them pay the price, smashed it in.
There is Keane. It would be easy to say that there's more at stake for Newcastle today. The revenge motive. There's 2 league defeats. One pretty comprehensive at Old Trafford, the other at St James's Park, distinctly less so. But vital factors in the way the Premiership was won. Keane, set up for him.
Well, they've started the better side, Manchester United. They've looked brighter, they've looked the more threatening side. Lovely little flick from Cantona again. The only thing he'll be disappointed it was his left foot rather than his right was striking it with. But Alex will be happy with the start his team have made in this opening 15 minutes.
What a record he's got. Undoubtedly the smartest Alex in football. It's come beyond Steve Watson. Giggs played a part in that. Be collected by Scholes. Cantona. A similarity in Scholes' play to Cantona. I'm sure he won't mind me making that comparison, but he likes to drop off and play the passes from the deeper position. This is Shearer, as if we need to be told. And Newcastle have a corner. on the edge of the penalty area. Shearer just ahead of him. Got to it. Well, Ferdinand was given a lot more time than perhaps he realised, certainly than he expected. And he went for placement when you might have expected power.
Well, they've put Beckham on Albert now for 2 corners, Martin, and I think Albert will be quite happy if that continues, but there's an awfully big gap. You can see what Lennon has tried to do. He's tried to bend it in the far corner. Just didn't get it started wide enough for the goal to trouble Schmeichel any.
Manchester United will feel at this stage fairly comfortable with the shape of their team pattern. And Albert is booked for bringing down Philip Neville.
He's only beaten by just ability and pace of the movement. That's the thing that embarrassed Philippe Albert there. Totally committed himself to the tackle.
Albert minus the moustache this season. Players will do all sorts of things to get lighter on the scales when they report back.
I just lost more and more hair every year.
So Manchester United have a free kick. Beckham and Giggs pondering over it. It's Giggs who takes it, aiming for the head of Cantona, finding the head of Cantona. So now there are optimistic shouts from the Manchester United fans for handball by Ferdinand. He kept his arms firmly down by his side. I'm a bit concerned, Newcastle, about the times that Manchester United are picking out Giggs. What hasn't happened really has been the end product from the left side for the champions as yet. The champions and the FA Cup holders. Beckham. Sonacek was in the Czech Republic's squad for Euro 96, so without playing, he got a runners-up medal in the tournament. And close, actually, to being involved in the very final itself when Koba, the first choice, needed a fitness test. Pass to play. Watson. And on the pitch in that final, of course, was Karol Poborski. He made his reputation around the continent and certainly in England by his performances in this country. Since when he's left Slavia Prague, the Czech champions for the English champions. Watson's throw, led by Phil Neville. Beresford. Now Ginola. Newcastle trying to pick up the tempo.
Well, we were led to believe that David Ginola would wander a little bit in this from this left side, but he's kept himself pretty much rooted to this left side. And up till now, he's found it difficult to create any sort of opening when he's had possession.
Yes, he's just drifted, 20 yards infield a few times without really crossing, if you drew a line from the centre of one goal to the other.
That's an option I think we'll use this season, Mark. That diagonal ball from either left or right to Ferdinand or Shearer. Both are extremely good in the air. I think once they get used to it, they'll use that diagonal ball for the far striker, just to knock down for the other one to be running onto.
This is Beckham. Owen is trying to get there. Started from very deep. Got behind Beardsley. And there's an important intervention there by Peacock, with Cantona waiting by the far post.
Once again, it's the Manchester United that are looking the most threatening.
Scholes. I wonder whether Beckham called for him to let it run. was coming onto it.
Using David Beckham in a wide position today. He's got Podborski who could play there. He's got Jordi Cruijff who can play there. The numbers from Newcastle in terms of new signings have all been in monetary terms. For Manchester United, they've been in terms of the numbers of players who've come to the club, although of course Lee Sharp left the ranks yesterday to go to Leeds, £4 million. But there's a quote from Kevin Keegan in the matchday programme saying that Newcastle were going to treat today as their first league game, which isn't usually the way for clubs coming into the Charity Shield. It's often regarded by the participating managers as the final pre-season fine-tuning affair. And that might be Manchester United looking to get into a winning position here, but it wouldn't quite drop for Scholes.
Great run from Scholes, Mark. They pulled Peacock forward and then just tucked in behind them. And it was a great quality ball. He'd be disappointed he didn't get hold of it on the first bounce. And once he didn't, then Srnicek was always going to be favourite.
Ginola. This is gone for an infringement by Ryan Giggs. Almost halfway through the first half. This is Lee. Newcastle well represented in the centre. Peacock. And the other centre-back Albert was there as well to make the first header. Beardsley. A bit more sustained pressure from Newcastle at the moment. Batty. All being played in front of Manchester United though. Ginola. A bit of hesitation by Watson, who had to cover in the centre. Cantona's got a gap to go through. Well stopped. Srnicek comes back to Cantona again. He's got a second chance and he doesn't take that one either.
Well, full marks to the goalkeeper for chance one, but Eric will be disappointed with himself for chance two. But this was a beautiful break from Manchester United. How often have we said that they're most dangerous when they're defending? The ball's a beautiful one because it's not an easy ball. It was perfectly timed from Giggs. So was the run in the first touch. But the goalkeeper made life difficult for him. But when it came off the goalkeeper here, he stood big for a long time, the goalkeeper. And when this comes back to Eric Cantona, he's got time to pick his spot, to hit the target. And he doesn't do what he wanted to have done.
19 goals in 38 appearances for Manchester United last season. And as has been pointed out, just one yellow card in those games. The only blot on his disciplinary record, which was under total scrutiny when he came back from that long suspension. So Pavel Srnicek, who's really competing with Shaka Hislop to start the season in Newcastle's goal, has made a good start to this game. Beckham gets away from Albert. Scholes is with him. Cantona is free. It's another chance for Cantona, and this time he's taken it. You can't keep
losing him as Newcastle have been doing without paying the price.
Everyone might be looking at David Beckham and saying great vision, but he's got a lot to thank Paul Scholes for, Martin. As he's got, watch, he didn't see it quite there. Scholes actually points to Beckham to go the other way because he saw Cantona in the better position. Just here he's pointing to Beckham. Beckham suddenly sees he's there, and this is danger bells. He's missed the first one. I never expected him to miss that one. I don't think anyone in the ground expected him to miss again. Watch how cool he is. Sunacek comes out, steadies himself, but there's a little gap there, and Eric finds it. It's a beautiful goal, and it's been threatening since, well, since minute 5, I would say. Since the opening 5 minutes, they've looked the more dangerous side, they've looked to have the greater threat, and it's no surprise that they've opened the account.
Well, for all that Manchester United achieved last season, and Cantona in particular, they scarcely merited a mention in the build-up to this game. We're talking about Cantona now. The goal after 24 minutes. Cantona always seems to be at home at Wembley. And there's another goal on this splendid stage for him. But back come Newcastle with Batty. Too high for Shearer, but he'll turn it back here for Ginola. Corner off Neville. Ginola with the corner. That's Shearer!
That's half a chance for the £15 million man. Free header, just didn't get enough on it. Fire it and just checks behind David May. Maybe just stretching a little bit too much. Excellent movement from Shearer. Took May ahead, then just dropped in behind him.
But on Eric Cantona's record, of course, in terms of goals, a hat-trick in a Charity Shield for Leeds United 4 years ago. He was also scorer the last time Manchester United did play in this fixture in 1994, and they beat Blackburn 2-0, and he's chasing in again. Sunacek is, I would think, feeling the pinch about lack of cover. A slice from Schmeichel, but it went straight to Beckham. Giggs. Now but Beckham's tapped infield again, and so too is Giggs. And they explore the central route. This time Newcastle do close the door, and width is wanted. Neville is available. Keane. Giggs. Keane. And Beresford was alongside Cantona. Pallister.
Dominating possession, Manchester United. They look so confident, almost an arrogance about their play this afternoon. The passing's been slick, it's been accurate for the vast majority of this opening half hour.
And there's another one for Cantona, and he came in between Albert and Beresford. He looked at the referee, we looked at the referee.
I'm not sure which part of Philippe Albert's anatomy the ball strikes. Again, it's a glorious raking pass, and as it comes down, Canada gets the shot there. It's a good tackle. I think Eric's concerned about the challenge, but it was a great tackle from Albert.
Giggs, Cantona pulling away from Albert again. Not coping with the quality of his work off the ball, let alone what he does when he's in possession. And here's another one. Beckham's cross. And Nicky Butt flying in with the header.
Well, if this is only a curtain raiser, Martin, for the rest of this season, what have we got to look forward to? That is a magnificent goal. Again, we talked about the passing. Wonderful pass, cross field for Cantona's run. Now watch this for a drilled cross. He absolutely drills it. And Butt's got forward time after time this afternoon, and he's rewarded. Look at the way he looks up, drills it at him. Go on, Nicky, put your head on that. And he gives Srnicek no chance. Goalkeepers don't save these. There's too much pace on them. You can't save them, not unless they hit you. And I think the scoreline is about right. I think they've looked 2 goals ahead of Newcastle this afternoon.
Well, it is very, very early days. We should not forget that. But if Manchester United want to just send a message to Alan Shearer, along the lines of, are you sure you made the right decision? You could have come to us. But as I say, early days.
As Ferguson said earlier, Mark, you don't win FA Cups and you don't win League Championships on Charity Shield Day. You do win a nice trophy and you do score marks. And if I've always said, if you're coming to Wembley to play, you come to Wembley to win.
Runs away from Shearer. Beckham is there. Scholes there. Really bright as buttons at the moment for Manchester United players individually, and it's all panning out collectively as well. Cantona to Scholes, and Newcastle creaking again at the back.
They're all over the place, Mark. I think the back 4 are a little bit concerned with it. I think the 3 they're playing infield, they're not quite sure what's happening. Keane and Butt, Giggs and Beckham in particular are absolutely running the show.
Ferdinand leaves Butt. Shearer's offside. Ferdinand was in a position to run it in, but the flag went up.
Now that was a threat. That's what they're looking for. It's a tight one. There's no doubt about that. He's not offside. But what good covering from Dennis Irwin. I'm not so sure that... Well, I don't know whether Les thought he had an open goal. Did he see the flag? I don't know. But certainly Dennis Irwin didn't give it up.
Well, Kevin Keegan, as a player, had great pain at the Charity Shield. He was sent off here playing for Liverpool back in 1974, but I just wonder whether the feelings at the moment are a bit comparable. This side certainly second best, although that thrust between Ferdinand and Shearer suggested there will be some light at the end of the tunnel. Newcastle's free kick. Goals from Cantona and from Butt from Manchester United. Beckham. Keane. Scholes coming in from the left, leaving some room for Giggs. He wants to take on Watson. It's a corner.
Well, if he'd have held it up, Philip Neville was trying his best to get round the outside. The back 4 are having to work their socks off, Martin, and that's because I think the 3 in the midfield area that Newcastle have and David Ginola are having real problems in stemming the flow. Back 4s need protection at times, and they're not getting it at the moment. They've been really exposed.
Just one comment of consolation to Newcastle. They did play on Friday night, most of these players. It was a commitment to Lincoln, typical of Newcastle, that they promised before they realised they were going to be involved in the Charity Shield. And They were as good as their word. It was a wonderful night at Bank, but it was hard work as well. It wasn't that long ago. And you have to say, in terms of time for recovery at this stage of the pre-season, hardly ideal for facing Manchester United, in-form Manchester United at Wembley. They've been chasing shadows at times in this first half.
I think that's been the quality of Manchester United's football. And it's a message to the rest of the Premiership if they're wondering whether the champions are ready as they start out in the campaign to retain the title. And the evidence in the opening 35 minutes, they're more than ready. And don't forget, we haven't seen Pavorsky, Cruyff, Cole or Gary Neville yet.
All the Norwegians, yeah. Solskjaer, who has been very impressive in the short time he spent at Manchester United in training. Got it to Giggs again. Cantona goes a second time. And Peacock with a hefty sigh of relief knocks it away. As we said at the beginning, Steve Howe not really wanting to be risked today. Remember those injury difficulties he had through the summer when he was in and out of the England Euro '96 squad. Owen. Keane. At the moment it's a masterclass. Newcastle on the receiving end of it. Finally gets a piece of it, but only facing his own goal. Giggs, this time it's Keane, who's made a run that was unattended. Cantona looked to see what was on in the centre. In doing so, he just took his eye off the ball for a fraction of a second. In that moment, Albert stretched in.
I have to say, this is a joy to watch Manchester United's football. Royce Keane's run from midfield there to give Giggs an option is just wonderful. And Cantona, who's played as far forward as I can remember for 40 minutes of this match, hardly dropped off the pace at all. But wanted to be right up there at the front.
Giggs for Beckham. Peter Schmeichel is about 40 yards from goal, wanting to join in as well.
They can't keep it at the moment, can they, Newcastle, Mark? They'll no sooner have the ball than they either give it back to United, as Steve Watson's just done there, or Manchester United win it back. It's certainly a difference in the passing and movement of the sides.
Owen. Cantona, nothing about a backfield, spurning it that time. A bit of history between him and Ginola. Not the best of friends.
I'm not so sure about that decision, I have to say. That ball travelled an awful long way. And they play this lovely diagonal ball. Very, very close.
This is Beresford. David May, of course, knows a thing or two about Shearer's game. They were at Blackburn together. Lee. Ginola. When they try and display some interpassing in midfield, there's not the zip, there's not the craft.
It's too tight, man. Too many passes in about a little 10-yard square there.
Peter Schmeichel, incidentally, isn't available for Manchester United's next match on Tuesday against Inter at Old Trafford. You'll see highlights here on Sky Sports at 10:30 on Tuesday night. Schmeichel's away with Denmark. We've got an international on Wednesday against Sweden. Unlike England, they've got a game to warm up for their first World Cup qualifier. Luxury denied to Glenn Hoddle. Remember, England start on September the 1st away to Moldova. Not an easy fixture.
Not anymore on the international level.
Keane. Through Batty's competitive streak, something of course that Keane has in abundance, and he's talked his way into trouble here. He's been booked. Newcastle got the free kick, and Les Ferdinand should get a goal back and hasn't. The sheer size of Schmeichel denying him.
Well, how many times did he do that last season, Mark? When you think there's a goal in the offing and up pops Schmeichel, great ball in, May misjudges it totally. Ferdinand can't hit that any better. He hits it right close to the goalkeeper, but he's still got to make the save.
Well, that really would have been a lift for Newcastle after a harrowing 40 minutes or so.
Well, you can't ask for better when he hits it. It certainly was on the way up when he made contact, and it continued to rise. But he hit it very powerfully from no more than 12 yards. And Schmeichel once again. Wow, what a goalkeeper.
Well, it's a Manchester United debut for Karol Poborski. He's come on for Nicky Butt. He's got a problem with his vision, I think. We're getting news to that effect from the far side. But the scorer of Manchester United's second goal. So here's Beckham looking for a third.
Well, it won't affect the system or the way they play. Poborski will just come right side, and Beckham just tuck in field to where Butt was playing alongside Keane. So there are no problems there. It gives us a chance to look at that opening goal from Eric Cantona. I often talk about players who, well, they play a part without, look at him pointing, plays a part here without touching the ball. He could see where Cantona was, Beckham couldn't. So he told his mate where to pass it to, the Frenchman did the rest.
Yes, and Cantona passed it into the net. Beardsley. Poborski back at Wembley. 6 weeks after playing in the final of Euro '96. What a change and upswing in his footballing life. His club, Slavia Prague, won the Czech Championship. That hadn't happened for almost 50 years, so he had all those celebrations, a fantastic international tournament, and then a move to Manchester United. Poborski's got a bit of learning to do about life in the English game, if we can call it the English game anymore, with so many foreigners coming to grace it. And they studied Ginola. Owen. Sonicek's got to sweep this up. Oh, and Beresford was a little fortunate that he was being hounded by Beckham. But they were always passing it under pressure, Newcastle. They haven't been able to apply the same sort of pressure to the marvellous movement from Alex Ferguson's team in midfield. Newcastle have only won the Charity Shield once, and that was back in 1909, when it was played between the winners of the old First Division and the winners of the then Southern League. Newcastle beat Northampton changed a little since then. Lee. Batty. Ginola straying into the centre this time, and he's found Ferdinand. Out comes Schmeichel. Ferdinand gets the ball past him, but not with true conviction.
Left side, that's the difference for me, when they get down that inside left channel. The weaker side, not as convincing.
Becker. Zaborski. He was caught by Beresford. But the whistle is also for half-time. Well, I wonder what Steve Bruce, ex-Manchester United now, has thought of the display from his former colleagues. The scoreline says so much. It's been very hard work for Alan Shearer and for Newcastle. Goals from Cantona and from Butt. 2-0 to Manchester United at half-time at Wembley. Another indication of the depth of the talent at Alex Ferguson's disposal is that England's right back, Gary Neville, comes on as a second-half substitute for Manchester United. Their second change. They're allowed 3 from 7 named substitutes today. And Andy Gray and I were just thinking at half-time that 2 years ago Manchester United won the Charity Shield 2-0 against Blackburn Rovers, and Blackburn Rovers won the championship 9 months later. It's 2-0 to Manchester United here, and if Newcastle don't tidy up their act, it's not just at the back really, because those defenders have been exposed by waves and waves of midfield players moving on in United red. But there could be more embarrassment for Kevin Keegan and the travelling Toon Army. Steve Watson knocks it out for the throw under some pressure from Giggs. Keane. Cantona. And again, here's Zaborski. David Beckham, who will appreciate and would feel the chance to play centre midfield here at Wembley. Zaborski outside him on the right-hand side. Here's Beardsley in the centre for Newcastle. Shearer. For Batty. Trying to get it back to Shearer, who was in a good position had the pass been completed. David Batty finished last season so well, it tends to be forgotten because Newcastle ended up empty-handed. It was through no fault of Batty. He's on the ball again here. Beardsley. Getting closer and closer. Cantona. Beckham's gone ahead of him. Keane jogging up in support. It's Scholes on the left this time and Giggs through the middle. And I think if that had been in a Premiership game, Ryan Giggs would have given it a chase. He's still got a bit of catching up to do fitness-wise after a leg muscle problem in the first few days back in training. Minister there, alongside Shearer. Beardsley. Minister in quickly again. Whatever description you put on this occasion, whatever levels of seriousness you give it, there's no doubt that Newcastle went in with their pride very wounded at half-time. And there's the opportunity to try and show what they're made of. Ferdinand. Gary Neville quickly in tune with the pace of proceedings to stop Rob Lee rounding it off.
And that's a decent ball and it causes problems. Les just looks to nick it off. Rob Lee way ahead. For the first time in the match, really, we've seen Rob Lee in there.
It's a corner. Well, it was a chance. Free header for Albert.
That's a glorious chance. That's as good a chance as they've had. Nothing in the way, clear sight of the ball. No more than what, about 12 yards out. That's just a poor header. End of story.
Well, we've got some news from Nick Collins over on the far side. Nick.
Martin, Dennis Irwin was substituted at half-time because he's got a sore knee. That's why Gary Neville came on. And just to update you on Nicky Butt in a moment.
Because this is Poborski. Carry on, Nick.
Yeah, Nicky Butt suffering from concussion. Apparently went up for a corner, went to head the ball and caught it full in the face instead of on his forehead. So he's suffering a bit from concussion.
Giggs will take the corner. It was Alistair who was watched more closely by Newcastle than Albert had been by Manchester United a minute or two earlier. Giggs winning it back for Phil Neville. Now, of course, of Manchester United and England, having played an international in China, flags up. I don't know about you, Andy, but I find it the hardest part of the job spotting these offsides now, because the movement is so good, so thoughtful from forward players. I don't envy the linesmen, and it's no surprise that occasionally they get it wrong.
I think it's the hardest job in football. Not a doubt about that. But what I think they've tried to do is to give him the option to let it go if it's tight. And I don't think that the linesmen at the moment are prepared to do that. An awful lot of them pull up decisions that are borderline and not offside.
Play safe.
They figure something off as well.
Shearer. So it was given away by Poborski for Manchester United. Batty. Good climb by May. Poborski trying to make up for his mistake.
There's no doubt Newcastle have upped the tempo, particularly when they haven't got the ball, Mark. I know it's Charity Shield day, and perhaps winning it is not the ultimate, but I can't believe Kevin Keegan would have been happy at half-time. I'm sure he would have had something to say to his players. He knows how many supporters have travelled from the north-east down to this match today, and he wouldn't have been happy with what he saw from his side first half, even though it is only Charity Shield. And I think it's noticeable. They've tried to up the tempo of the game all over the pitch.
I don't know about being happy at half-time. He's certainly not happy now. But what Newcastle have got going for them in the second half is this horseshoe around Wembley at this end of the ground that they're attacking. All black and white. Ferdinand. It's pretty intense in red and white in the other half. We shouldn't forget that, although it's not quite full sellout for Manchester United. But when you think there were only 40,000 here a year ago when Everton played Blackburn, or what was a low-key affair, Watson. Batty has played in Charity Shields for Leeds, for Blackburn, and now for Newcastle. It's Watson. Might have had a swing with the left foot as the ball dropped. Crosses with his right. Shearer climbs, and well, it fell between the two stools really, between going in or going for the gap to Schmeichel's right or dropping for Ferdinand.
But that's the first time they've done something different, Martin. Steve Watson from the right back area decided to go forward, get involved in the attack, and it gave Manchester United something different to cope with. It's not an easy header for Shearer. He gets up a little early, almost on the way down when he meets the ball. It's never an easy header though.
Glanced on by Cantona, butted wide by Scholes, kept in by Poborski. It's a Manchester United corner.
And that's your problem, isn't it? We've talked about it season after season, this Manchester United side. We're looking at an attack from Newcastle United, and what, 5 seconds later, they're defending desperately in their own half. That's how quickly this team break, how they can punish you.
Beckham's corner. That's always been part of Alan Shearer's sense of responsibility.
I wouldn't have everyone back if I was Newcastle. I've got every single player in the 18-yard box. I'd stick somebody up front. They three out the box, Manchester United. Last night, David Ginola has decided I'll go up there. I think that makes sense. They've got an option there if they clear it.
It drops for Beckham. And Manchester United might have had a fair amount of optimism there. There are certain players you'd like those to drop to, and some you wouldn't fancy. But Beckham would come in the former category.
Oh, you better believe it. A little bit anxious. I think his eyes opened a little bit wide there as that was dropping. I think he quite fancied it himself. Just rushed it a tad.
Touched on by Ferdinand. As Newcastle get a greater share of the ball, and there are signs they are doing that. Although Poborski threatens them at the moment. Giggs, good tackle by Batty. This is Poborski. Trying to make an early mark in Manchester United red. He's used in a variety of roles by the Czech Republic. In Euro '96, Cantona didn't play, of course, amazingly. France didn't choose him or Ginola. Shearer, Batty. Ferdinand. I was going to say, Andy, as Newcastle get more of the ball, maybe you'll be in a better position to judge what you see from Shearer and Ferdinand in tandem. It'd be very unfair to judge them on the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, strikers can only do what thrive on what kind of service they get. They got scant little in the first half. I think that would be fair, quite simply because Manchester United absolutely dominated possession of the football. And that's the first job for Newcastle, is to get possession of the ball, to stop the other side playing, and then to play a little bit yourself. But they've got a little bit tighter in that midfield area, and there's no doubt that Kevin's had a word about it.
Cantona. He's played, you sense, without real looking what was in support of Phil Neville that time, unusually for him. Lee. Beasley pushing on down the right-hand side, finding a little bit of space, and Ginola finding him with the ball. Shearer fighting to get in front there, claiming a corner, getting a corner. And for the first time, a little bit of anger from Schmeichel.
Well, a game wouldn't be a game if there wasn't a little bit of anger from Peter.
Ginola takes the corner. That's Lee, good shot, and matched by the save. It's a very difficult ball to hit as it dropped. Rob Lee manufactured the effort on target so well, and he comes back again. It was another fine try.
Two great efforts from Lee. First one with his left foot was absolutely beautifully struck, and I think Peter Schmeichel was happy that this came right at him. Schmeichel shuffles across his line, you see it there he goes. Gets a good look at it, and clutches it quite beautifully. The other one, he was concerned, I think, because Lee was able to advance. You could see him not under a great deal of pressure, and he's looking to curl this one in the top corner. Just a little bit high.
Well, this is a little bit more like it from Newcastle United. Ginola. Two of his teammates, I don't think quite sure what he was going to do then. Batty, nicely played for Ginola. This is Lee again. Albert, striding on. Shearer, almost through. But a problem for Newcastle as they force the pace to make sure they're not clinically picked off on the break. But they have got to do all they can to try and take some of the cockiness, if you like, out of Manchester United. They deserve to be very, very confident after the way they have conducted the majority of this match, the double winners of last season. But we're hearing Newcastle voices in the crowd predominantly. But here comes the counter-attack with Giggs, with Cantona. And now with Roy Keane. It's Watson who stuck out a leg.
This game's going to flow now, Mark. Newcastle have picked up the team. They've got to go and try and get themselves a goal. And with United so quick to counter, I just think the second half will flow from end to end.
Gary Neville, who intercepted well, and there was a sharp triangle there. Scholes and Poborski involved. And now it's Cantona slowing it down. Giggs and Watson, who attacked the man on the ball, and no one helped him out by going with Giggs. This is Poborski. He scored that brilliant goal against Portugal. Villa Park. I'm sure many of you will remember that from the European Championship. Surprisingly, that was his first and only goal for the Czech Republic.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad way to open your account at the national level, I suppose.
Still, Johan Cruyff hasn't had the chance to see his son Jordi in action here in the Charity Shield. Batty. Ginola. Watson. It's a useful ball when you've got Shearer and Ferdinand in the centre to try and get it in quickly. They would appreciate that. Handy turn from Giggs. Poborski. It was a great idea and close to execution. Sonichek's got a problem. He's in danger of colliding with Cantona, maybe bringing him down. He's scampered back now. That ball in behind Newcastle that Cantona has looked for so often today. To Ginola to go a bit further forward to try and go and help get the ball as Shearer's doing himself. He's not happy.
Well, not many players work as hard as Alan Shearer for the team. I think we're just making that little point to David Ginola.
Ginola, who was unsettled in the summer, interest from Barcelona. Well, there's a sign of activity on both benches. Faustino Asprilla, despite next Saturday's suspension from the match against Everton, so he's going to get a feel of the Wembley turf that he had when he played here for Colombia against England. And that looks like Jordi Cruyff. Batty. Still feel if Newcastle could get a goal, the contest will be reignited here. Cantona and Butt, the Manchester United scorers in the first half, which was theirs by a street.
Well, they didn't lose the ball, Mark, because Philippe Albert, just on the edge of the box here, had gone forward. He took a chance.
Again, a less than charitable exchange. Oh. Well, Cantona, who kept out of things so much when he came back last season. It was between Asprilla and Gary Neville. Paul Durkin thought that Albert and Gary Neville, rather. Paul Durkin thought that Albert had been fouled. Manchester United didn't think so. And Cantona, whether he's taking his role as captain to particular heart, but that's taken some of the gloss off Manchester United's afternoon. That was stupid.
That was stupid. I think Philippe Albert did overreact, but nonetheless, Martin, Eric should know better than to raise your hands to anybody. There was certainly a real danger, certainly with the referee it was on show, that card could have been red.
A little hug between Cantona and Albert, a wasted free kick for Newcastle. But remember, Cantona, one yellow card in his comeback last season between the 1st of October and the triumphant end here in the FA Cup final. But signs of the Cantona of old.
Yeah, he took a real chance there, Eric. I mean, that is stupid. I know he's a man who reacts when he feels his teammates or him have been wronged, but that was an overreaction in my opinion. And that
Asprilla's come on for Beardsley. So amidst all this, on comes Jordi Cruyff. He had his Christian name, his Spanish name on his shirt during Euro 96, but he now has his father's name, his father's number, and the great Johan is here to watch the last quarter of this game with particular interest.
Well, we always thought this game would have an edge, Mark, and I think that's proving to be the case. I just think the referee's got to just take a little bit stern control right at this present moment in time. One or two niggling things going on. Nothing serious, but just niggling.
Shearer has earned Newcastle a free kick. Referee wants it back a yard or two. Ginola is lining it up. Shearer not involved this time. Ginola takes it, and no concern for Manchester United. Well, the weather's gone a bit steamy, and so is the match.
Ah, that's great. Nothing like a good contest to get the beginning of the season up and running, Mark.
Well, the result doesn't exactly settle old scores or give an extra push to the league games that lie ahead. Kevin Keegan was looking for a win, as he said, to kick-start the Premiership campaign. He The little more content that Newcastle have done in terms of forcing Manchester United back to defend more in the second half, and now there's a trick or two maybe to come from Asprilla. It's all the drive of Batty. Cross from Watson. Harry Neville helps it on his way. Well, the corner flag's gone flying, but the ball stayed in play. Ginola. Well, it was a thoughtful ball. Curled with the outside of the foot towards Steve Watson.
Good ball. Well, the problem, Watson at full stretch. Difficult to control a ball when you're stretching like Steve Watson. But it is a delicate little ball and sensible. Thinking about it all the time, Ginola. He's playing it into an area where he thinks there's danger. And there was. Just couldn't wrap his foot round it and pull it back.
Ginola, very quiet for long periods, starting to become a growing force in the game. At a time when the new sang-froid of Eric Cantona has slipped. No one is pulling out of any tackles.
Oh, this is a contest. Make no mistake about that.
Phil Neville. Alistair made to hurry by Asprilla. There's Cantona. Beckham running to the right. Digs through the middle. Cantona has got also Cruyff there as well. Still Cantona hit Peacock. In the end, he couldn't quite find the right option that time. Asprilla, and Keane's already been booked. He's got to be careful. Still Asprilla. Peacock. And Alistair, who's seen those coming for the majority of the game, led the play superbly once more. Manchester United, by no means the team in charge that they were in the first 45 minutes. Lee.
But also a team that doesn't have to go chasing it, and I think that's helped them. They've just set the stall out. The back four have been really tight and close together. They've impressed me today. The four at the back, whether it's been Irwin or whether it's been Gary Neville as it is now, Martin, but they've defended really well as a unit. Whereas I don't think Newcastle's back four have defended that well, but perhaps the protection in front hasn't been what it might have been.
Albert. Shearer. Albert! Well, Pallister undoubtedly played the ball as he came across.
Well, that's the beauty of having defenders who play close together, Martin. And people are running through you like that. I think if Newcastle defending that, then there would be big gaps for people to run in between centre-backs. But with Pallister and May, there wasn't an awfully big gap, and Pallister was able to get back.
And a great tackle by Schmeichel as well. He certainly played the ball. Albert. And he turned onto his weaker side. There might be a break on for Manchester United here. Cruyff for Cantona, out comes Cernicek. Well, we're asking you to pick the man of this particular contest for the Charity Shield. Phone now on this number, 0891 111101. Presentation will be made according to your votes. At the moment, it's still Manchester United's match. Watson. Shearer trying to curve that run to stay onside.
Yeah, he goes in early. It's a run he makes so often in the colours of Blackburn Rovers, but the ball was usually delivered a little earlier. And I think that's a little bit of getting to know you from back to front.
This is David Batty scampering down the right. Nicked back by Aspria. In for Ferdinand to fight for, and he'll certainly do that. Schmeichel will probably contact while the goalkeeper was in the air, which is against the laws of the game. Oh, well, I wouldn't be surprised if the man alongside me takes Les Ferdinand's part in this particular debate.
I don't know, I think it's, I was going to say catching practice, but he certainly catches a goalkeeper. Well, that doesn't do any harm, either Les Ferdinand or Peter Schmeichel. He'll be expecting, when he's facing Ferdinand and Shearer and crosses are coming in, to be some contact there. You can see how Newcastle have pushed second half, Martin. They've asked a lot more questions. The thing I said a little bit earlier, I think Manchester United have defended much better than Newcastle have done when they've been under pressure.
Well, Paul Durkin took a while to spot the flag, which did go up straight away. Schmeichel didn't take any chances.
But this is something they'll certainly look for. You can see to get that one absolutely right. But they won't be shy in doing that, I don't think, Newcastle this season, playing it early up to one of the front two to knock on for the other, because both are willing runners in behind.
15 minutes to go. 2 goals for Newcastle would take it to a penalty shootout, no extra time. It's the regulations governing the Littlewoods FA Charity Shield. Aspria gets away for the corner.
He's looked great, Martin, since he come on. Short spell he's been on for Steven Aspria. Perhaps feeling he's got a point to prove.
And if he plays, and Shearer and Ferdinand play, he doesn't. Ginola. Away by Cantona. Back for Ginola again. Flipped off the body on the way through, which didn't make it any easier for Schmeichel.
Good strike. And certainly the deflection just in front of him there would have been the thing that might have embarrassed him, but like all good goalkeepers, kept his eye firmly on it. Knocks it down, the rest sees it.
Right. Who was with Barcelona, Jordi Cruyff, but of course when his father was sacked in somewhat acrimonious circumstances, it seemed very likely that the son would part company with the club as well. Ginola. Has gone down the left. Ginola surveying the scene infield, and now shifting back to involve John Beresford. Well, Aspria, could he take it away from Ferdinand?
I think they'd every right to go for it, Martin. I don't think that's a problem, because I think this again is another decent chance. You can see it's a free header. What is he? Again, no more than 10 yards out. I think that'll be the thing that's disappointing. Alan Shearer had a half chance first half, Philippe Albert second half, and now Festina Aspria, 3 free headers, none of which have hit the target.
Ginola goes off, and Keith Gillespie, who was a substitute for Manchester United in the Charity Shield 2 years ago, didn't get on then, comes on to great acclaim from the Toon Army for the 12 minutes that remain. He had a rather bitty season last season, largely because of an injury sustained playing against Manchester United over the Christmas period, when he was caught rather heavily by Phil Neville. And the two aren't too far away from each other at the moment. Maybe Phil Neville's not close enough to Gillespie. Gillespie's first task to try and fashion a cross. Cantona. Keane spotted the run of Cruyff, but decided not to play the pass. Podborski. The linesman has put his flag up.
Well, Giggs wasn't, Beckham was. See David Beckham's run takes him ahead of the play. He sees it flicked into Ryan Giggs. He certainly looks offside, but Beckham, what, 2 or 3 yards ahead of him?
Yes, you'd have to say in an active position then. Shearer. Bria with Ferdinand going to the near post, Shearer coming in behind him. Now it needs a good cross here. Shearer trying to steer it back. Gillespie. Watson. He's missed very little, Gary Pallister. Possibly a candidate for your vote for man of the match today. For a moment, Schmeichel was going to chest that down. Wouldn't be beyond his sense of arrogance. 10 minutes to go, cast your votes, or certainly think about who you might nominate, and then phone 0891 111101. And Beresford looked back with great anxiety, and so of course too did Cernicek, who's possibly got a touch of the eccentrics about his goalkeeping. Been involved in 1 or 2 strange moments since he's come into the English game. And that was another one, but it didn't cost Newcastle United that. Peacock. And Spria. Peacock charging on, but had no hope of collecting that.
No, it was close. I think he might have got back had it been on target anyway. Oops, keep your eye on that ball, Pavel. Come on, you'll have to work on your control, mate.
Well, it's an all too familiar victory chant for Manchester United at Wembley. Giggs. Cruyff. So many tests for the commentators in terms of pronunciation for the forthcoming season. All the foreigners coming in. Aspria, Ferdinand. Trying to muscle his way through. When I tell you that you can say Cruyff or Cruyff, you can say Jordi or Jordi. Take your pick.
I'll think of something else.
The boy 14, probably.
The boy with a famous father, isn't it?
He won't thank you for that, will he?
No.
But it's true. And he's got to live with it, and he's done well enough in his career to this point. There'll never be another Johan Cruyff, and no one knows that better than his son.
Cantona! Well, he got there. He got free of Watson. And I think it was only the fact that he didn't get it down and not so much to do with the challenge of Watson. But he hasn't tested the goalkeeper. Again, Watson gets sucked in a little bit. Free header. Unchallenged. You could see the disappointment in Cantona. With his ability, he would have felt he could have just have knocked out to the far corner.
Lovely touch by Aspria for Beresford. And it slewed away off David May for a corner. But did the job.
I have to say, Martin, the 10 13 minutes that Asprilla's been on, if Kevin is looking for someone to play that free role, the players that have been on, Beardsley, Ginolan, Asprilla's been the one for me that's impressed the most, and even in his short spell.
And Schmeichel's Poborski hairs away, but he's well watched on that occasion by Batty, and Schmeichel thought better of the throw. Now Batty has got a problem. Right. Giggs. 3 forward for Manchester United. Giggs comes in on his good side. Jordi Cruyff. Oh, it's gone across Srnicek and Poborski. The two newcomers so close to combining there. The way perhaps the Newcastle followers were hoping that Ferdinand and Shearer would have done on a regular basis today. Here is Alan Shearer. Batty. Test of Manchester United's concentration, a test of Newcastle's determination. Batty, it's a very deep ball. Kept in by Keith Gillespie. Giggs, not away yet. Albert would prefer to have a shot with the left foot, not the right. Asprilla.
Look how tight they all are, Martin. You see that Manchester United defence? They were quite prepared and quite happy to let it go wide. They really packed the 18-yard box with red shirts.
Well, if you've enjoyed Manchester United today, highlights on Tuesday night on Sky Sports of their match against Inter and Paul Ince. No flag. Beckham. 3-0.
Well, who else but Cantona, Mark, would you expect to orchestrate it? They've played 2, 3, 4 little passes in the midfield. Perhaps everyone's getting a track to the ball. Look at the run of Beckham. It's perfectly timed. And the finish, well, goalkeeper made his mind up. And the young lad, he has a quick look here, sees him coming and thinks, well, I'll have my Wembley goal, thank you very much. And it's capped a great display from him. And the captain, what a part he's played today, Cantona.
So for all Newcastle's improvement in the second half, their better share of possession, they've gone further adrift in the final minutes. Less than 4 minutes to go. Flew across, hit Steve Watson. Well, we mustn't, as we pointed out on a number of occasions today, lose sight of the timing of this fixture. This is mid-August. The honours are handed out much later on in the campaign. But Manchester United have made a statement today. We start our Premiership coverage at the Dell on Sunday. And Liverpool play Arsenal in front of the Sky Sports cameras on Monday night.
Well, what's happening today, Mark, is anyone who's interested in wresting this title from Manchester United has been shown today what you're going to have to do, what you're going to have to emulate and beat to win it.
It's Keane. Well. This is getting very embarrassing for Kevin Keegan and company.
Well, that's sloppy. I know they're 3-0 down, but the way Roy Keane was able just to stand outside the area, no one near him, look at that, look at him. And they roll it to him, and it seemed to go through Srnicek. I have to say the goalkeeper should save that in my book. That's straight down his throat. He gets good view of it. It does move a little bit, The goalkeeper should be able to do enough to push that over. But I would be more alarmed at this. At how much time, how much space Keane was given to drive it at goal.
Well, the trumpeting from St James's Park has been silenced today by Manchester United at Wembley. And after the 2 Premiership defeats which meant so much last season, in which Newcastle couldn't muster a goal, they haven't been able to really threaten and open up Manchester United on a consistent basis. And although it was more of a match for half an hour in the second half, it's a scoreline that will reverberate around the Premiership and further afield as well.
I normally don't put too much stock in a Charity Shield result, Mark, but it's not the result. I think it's the manner of the win or the defeat, whatever way you want to look at it. They've been absolutely awesome, Manchester United.
Poborski, he must be, along with Cruyff, absolutely thrilled to be a part of this. Cantona and Nicky Butt scored in a truly emphatic first half for Manchester United. And then when Newcastle, we thought, were getting out ahead of steam, David Beckham and Roy Keane have really rubbed it in.
Now, this has been the best contested Charity Shield I've seen for nearly a year. Not scoreline, but the way both teams have gone at it. They've wanted to win it, there isn't a doubt about this. This hasn't been a training session, Mark. This has been a fiercely contested, competitive football match. And Manchester United have won that football match 4-0. What does that tell us about the season ahead? What does it tell the rest of the Premiership about the season ahead?
And I just feel there might be some T-shirts being printed with this scoreline on it, and it's not finished yet. It's Giggs and Cantona's waiting in the centre. Soniček has to deal with a shot from Giggs, and he beats it out. And in stoppage time, Newcastle were left chasing and hoping and relying on the goalkeeper again. Poborski totally unmarked. Keane, another crack and nearly another goal.
Well, that was a more difficult save than the one he let in, Soniček.
But what is this going to do to Newcastle's morale?
Well, that's a question that needs to be answered in the next 7 days, and that's the job Kevin's got to work on. We had talked all before match that this is the top 2 in the country, 1 and 2. And I know it's Charity Shield, we've said it time and time again, and league championships aren't won today, neither are FA Cups, which is what Kevin Keegan wants to be contesting. But he's got to pick up these players and dust them down.
Right. Still some terrier-like defending from Batic. Well, it was said, wasn't it, when Shearer was signed in some quarters, do they need another striker? What about getting things right at the back? The defensive record was pretty good last season when you actually look at it. They have defended very poorly today, and maybe that's not being fair on Manchester United, who have played at times in a breathtaking fashion. Shearer!
Well, he's not at a sniff all day, he's had to wait till the 93rd minute. It's first, and it's not what you would call a golden chance. It's a volley, it's a difficult one. Just cuts across it. Never troubling the goal. There'll be more fruitful times ahead for that man in a black and white shirt. Of that, I'm absolutely convinced.
3 Manchester United goals from midfield players. Does that tell you something?
Yeah, they want to score goals, Martin, and they've got young legs in there that can run and run and run.
4 overall, the Charity Shield goes to the double winners. Eric Cantona started it off. Quite glorious first half for Manchester United, although Cantona's halo did slip in one flashpoint in the second half. Nicky Butt got the second and then went off with concussion. His great pal David Beckham, after some Newcastle pressure, ran free as Cantona caught Newcastle square for the third. And there was still time for a rasper from Roy Keane. Well, pre-Premiership points have been scored here by Manchester United over last season's closest challengers. And today, the world record signing on the wrong end of the scoreline, and how. Of course, the Shearer effect on Newcastle can only be properly assessed at the season's end. So Newcastle come second to Manchester United again today, and by a very big margin. It's not exactly the end of their world, but they hope that it's not a bad omen for the start of their season. Certainly, there'll be some bruised egos amongst those players going up. Led, as it's turned out, by Philippe Albert, not Peter Beardsley, who was captain at the start. Sir John Hall, sportingly, and he can't feel like doing it, but he joins in the applause.
Well, they just want to get up now, Mark, and get the losers plaques, medals, whatever, and get back and get concentrating on next week. It's as simple as that. That's all losers and Charity Shield want to do.
Well, when we look back at the end of this season, there might be a different perspective on it.
I think that's fair.
But those heads are downcast as they come down the steps, but not those belonging to players of Manchester United. And Manchester United are still setting the standards in the territory of trophy winning. The Littlewoods FA Charity Shield is on display at Old Trafford for the next year, if they can find room for it. A most emphatic exhibition from Manchester United. They've put down their marker. Well, Alan Shearer makes an early exit. There's plenty of time to come for him to have his say in the black and white stripes. And you do feel today that these players deserve a lap of honour. It's been that kind of display.
But that was the first half. We're losing but everyone at half-time. I thought it just took a wee bit of momentum away from us. But give credit to Newcastle, they came fighting back a bit in the second half and made it a contest. I felt towards the middle of the second half it was starting to get a grip again. And when I decided to put Cruyff on wide left and Ryan Giggs in centre midfield, I think that was it sewed up for us then.
And you're happy with the way the new boys fitted in?
Yes, I think they showed enough to tell our own supporters they've got class.
Yeah.
And that's important. And I think we've bought really good quality, good value for money.
Did you ever get fed up with this winning at Wembley?
No, absolutely not.
Very, very disappointing. I mean, we looked like a team that had never played together before. We looked like a team that really didn't have one player who said, come on, I'll sort this out, I'll lead you out of this, because we weren't playing well, we weren't passing the ball well. And the passion for me in the first half, the crowd, our supporters had all the passion and the players didn't have enough of it. And well, you saw what happened. I mean, Man United came out, they do what they do very well, and I don't think 4-0 really flattered them. Second half we were better, but to be honest with you, we had to be. We were so poor first half. It was depressing to watch, you know. And Wembley can be a great place if you're playing well, but when things are happening, likes of which were happening first half, you just want to get in. And the second half, when the fourth went in, if the referee had blown up then with 5 minutes to go, whatever it was, I'd have been delighted. I mean, it was just a bad day.
I thought 4 goals were maybe 2 goals too many, but I mean that's the way it goes. They were putting pressure on us. They played extremely well in the second half, but you know, when a team is putting pressure, they are bound to concede some counter-attacks, and so it was, and we were very fortunate to score on them.
Is that the real Newcastle? Will they still be the team to watch next season?
I think so, yeah. I mean, obviously Kevin Keegan's got some selection problems, positive selection problems. With Shearer coming a week ago, he hasn't really been able to try out which system, which formation is his best, and he was obviously trying during the game to see how it worked. I don't think you can put anything into 4-0.
I think, you know, as a team we just didn't play at all. We didn't get our passing together. I think, you know, they harried us and hassled us, and you know, I think in the end they deserved their victory.
What about the goal? Tell me about the goal that you scored. What do you remember?
Very nice ball, very good vision from David Beckham. Gave me the ball on the right, and I control it, and I tried to find the space.
Are you very happy with the new players in the team?
Yes, we are very happy. Yeah, we got a big squad with a lot of great players, and that's why we can win a lot of things again this season.
Wembley is a very lucky pitch for you.
A lot of pitch, a lot. No, yeah.
A lot, and very
it's
lucky.
very nice. It's great atmosphere and a very nice pitch, big pitch, and it's always nice to be there.
And a very nice start to the season for Man United.
Yeah, it's important. Manchester United have to win everything, so Charity Shield it's an important one.
What about Newcastle? How disappointing were they today? Do you think we saw the real Newcastle today?
I don't think so. I don't think so. They tried their best, but no, it's a very good team. The championship will be very difficult to win this season. A lot of not just Newcastle and Manchester United. A lot of teams speak about us, but this season this will be very hard. A lot of teams can win it.
Well, certainly don't panic. I mean, we're not panicking. I mean, it's one game. Credit to Man United, they played very well. Fully deserved to win by 4 goals, probably. But you know, we're sort of building up to it. You know, I mean, next Saturday, as the boss said before the game, is the most important thing. You know, it might not seem like it today, but that is the most important. And hopefully, if we start with 3 points again, Everton, that'll get our confidence back.
Nice for your confidence. Nice to play with Shearer and Ferdinand in front of you.
Yeah, that was nice for me. I mean, I didn't really expect to play, so that was a bonus. And you know, although it didn't go too well, they are 2 top-class strikers.
Se trata de ser el mejor. Trata de que se perdió un partido importante, una copa. Estoy triste y considero que fue un partido más, como todos los demás. Malo para todos.
So it's not a case of being the best or how well you played. The most important thing is that he's sad because we've lost an important game. It was a final, and he's always sad when that happens.
I think Tino was the only one when he came on, and to a lesser extent Keith Gillespie, who really, you think, well, he looked like he really wanted to do something out there. The others just struggled today. One of those days. Bad day at the office. You have them sometimes.
Well, the match may have ended in a downpour, but it wasn't that which dampened Newcastle's day. And as for Manchester United, well, they certainly have started the 96-97 season singing in the rain.